do you find that you overly regret the life stuff? I know you feel like you had kids too late, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely, without question. Yes, a crucial, yes,
And that's a thing that makes you
bad
feel.
mistake.
But now your relationship with your son Harry seems to be your most cherished thing, right?
It's like every parent. There was a time when I should have addressed parenthood and delayed it and delayed it and delayed it because I thought, holy crap, are you kidding me? It's a TV show. There's nothing more important than a TV show. Leave me alone. And then, yeah, and then we had.
Do you
Harry.
ever think though, like you waited too long, you still had a great kid, you still have an amazing relationship with the kid.
Mm-hmm.
There is something to making a great thing. Right?
Yes.
And I'm not talking about Emmys. I'm talking about literally the day to day.
Yes, you're correct about that. That's a lovely part of life, being able to do that. I'm just not convinced that that's what I did. But let's.
You know that's dysmorphia.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like you did a great thing.
When I have this conversation with my wife, which is hour to hour.
Of course.
She always says, look at you. How many people did you employ? You had maybe 100 people work for you. That's a great thing. That's something to be proud of. And I just think, wow, you are on the wrong side of the freeway here.
You ran it's like owning a carpet factory or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Like think about all the people. The local economy. You're not looking at the local
That's
economics.
right. Yeah, support your local merchants.
Were there points in your life where you were like, I'm like the conclusion of my show, which is like, I'm not very kind to myself and trying to find some semblance of self-acceptance? Were there moments in your life, was having Harry helpful in terms of like contextualizing yourself or getting some perspective?
Well, what I learned eventually was I pursued a variety of things that would make me feel better about myself. And the thing that ultimately made me feel better about myself consistently was if I felt the show went okay, then I would feel better about myself. These 400 people reinforced and erased, or disguised my self-doubt for an hour. So then I would feel okay about myself. And then I was able to help with that pharmaceutically. But the Harry is represented actual love, actual love to me. I love people in my life, but Harry was like ball lightning.
I've heard that's the good stuff. Kids.
For me, it was, yes. But I was so afraid that Harry wouldn't like me that all I tried to do was entertain him. So I look back on it now and I think, well, that was a miserable thing to do to the kid every night at
Bits?
dinner. I'm doing bits. That's right.
Sock puppets and food.
And I would try to engage him in improv at the dinner table, and he just would have none of it. So even that, but yeah.
But do you ever see things without revealing anything about him? Do you ever see tendencies in him that you're like, we got to nip this? No, no. So he doesn't have this sort of.
No. He doesn't seem to suffer what I suffer.
Great.
He seems to have self-possession and confidence about who and what he is that apparently this is crap.
No, that's the thing is you don't know the new show business. We all talk about our feelings openly, and people are grateful because Dave, no one talks about this stuff. As a father, who were you when you started, and who are you now?
That's a good question. I don't know. I will say the fact that and I know this is not that impressive to a Brennan, but the fact that there's 3 of them now, it does feel like a crew in a way that's really fun.
It is. That's a crew. That's like
crew.
8 in the 70s.
And it's just, they're such good company. And again, you just give them room to be themselves and then enjoy the show, right? If you keep them fed and you keep them safe and you do the things that are necessary for them to thrive and be healthy, the rest of it, you just realize how much of it, as they get older, the choices they make, and you just support their uniqueness. And they're very different, and yet they're also very much the Myers kids, and I love that part of it. And it's great.
And it's as good as advertised.
Yeah, it's as good as advertised. It's like if they can, because they're not good all the time, but the moments they're good are so sustainable more than any sort of professional success or any, I don't know, interaction you have with other people. Like when you have a genuinely good moment with a kid, like it's like just feels like it like resets everything negative for like a 24-hour period.
Somebody said it's like the love he always wanted is from his kid. I was like,
I feel like I do something. I think it's a great Mother's Day present, which is over the course of a year,
lingerie.
I write down every funny thing my kids say, and then I type it up, like on a typewriter, and give it to my wife. And like the list gets longer because they're just older and they say funnier things. And so it's
you should slip in. This is the devil's playground.
You know what I should slip in is like one negative thing about my wife to see if she read the whole 8 pages.
That is are they all things she's heard?
Some she's heard, some like, cause some I don't tell her everything, and but like I just on my phone I have like a file of like funny things.
Do you ever say to the kid like, "Don't repeat that to your mother"?
Don't tell your mom. Some are really good. This is this is one of my wife's all-time favorite, which is I said to the 7-year-old, hey, let's be really nice to mommy today. And he said, why? I'm like, she's just had a really stressful week and she does so much for us and she has to take care of so many things. So we should be really nice to her. And he said, or you could do some of that stuff. And I was just like, fuck, she's going to like tell that to everybody the rest of her life.
And what's funny is I don't know if that's more Alexi or you. Meaning like which
brain
which
wrote
part
that?
of the spirit did the kid get that from?
It's true. I don't know either. But it is very funny that he immediately did the math and he's like, I think I don't think she wants our kindness. I think she wants us to chip in, which is 100% the case.
Yeah, but come on. Fucking help out a little bit, kids, you know? Can you tell the Warren Beatty anecdote?
Sure. It's heartbreaking, though. You sure?
Yeah, if it's the one I think it is.
It is the one you think it is.
Warren Beatty, one of the biggest movie stars of the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
He was very friendly. Him and Gary Shandling struck up a friendship. Yes. And Gary schlepped me along a handful of nights. And he had just started having kids.
In his 50s, right?
I guess so.
Late 40s.
Gary and I, of course, had no idea what he was doing or why.
Yeah.
And
why is this bear riding a unicycle? Yeah, go ahead.
And we would kind of question him about it. You know, what's it like? You know, what are you doing? I remember him taking me into a room in his mansion, and it was filled with toys. He goes, this used to be my office. And then there was just this room filled with little kid toys. And, you know, again, disconnected. You don't understand it. He said, and this must be his line. He says, one of the nice things God does is that he doesn't let people who don't have kids know what they're missing. That's the line you mean.
Yes. Yes. And then you have them and a part of your brain opens up.
Yeah. Then a network opens up that you didn't know was in there.
Yeah.
And you go, oh.
Okay.
So there's another side to this sex thing. The sex thing seems very interesting and stimulating.
Great.
But they don't just do it for that. They had there's a second act to this play.
Yes.
There's a reason they made it like that.
As exciting and
interesting as it is.
Yes. This is a different, more profound. Having a child and is more profound and more interesting.
I used to say, well, anything could be interesting, but I used to say it's like having sex from the other side.
I don't even know what that means. But
well, you're on one side when you have sex, right? You're on one side. There's another side. There's a whole other side.
Right. Yes. It's like the alternative world.
Yeah.
I've never really heard you talk about being a parent.
Mm-hmm.
You've told me about it, but I just want I want other people to hear it because the way you talk about it, because I've recently I'm involved. I have a girlfriend and
Oh,
she has a
nice.
kid, and it's like, I
Oh,
think
that's
about you a
right.
lot because you're right about the part of your brain opening up, or
Yeah.
Warren's right, or whatever. And it's a unique tone of experience, and it's great.
Yeah.
What surprised you about being a parent?
It's nothing. There's nothing that you expect, so it's all a surprise. Well, the surprise is that you didn't ever think you could do it, and you find out you can.
How does it make you feel differently about yourself? Like, I'm a warmer person than I thought. I'm a more
No,
generous
definitely
person than
not.
I thought. Kinder.
It's fun. You know what's really fun? I had kids over my house the other night, and this kid comes over to me. He's
Your youngest son is how old? 15?
He's 18.
18.
My youngest. But this little kid comes over to me, and he's 6. And I have no trouble striking up a conversation with him and engaging with him. And that is when you have kids, I know every age. I know what they think. I know what they could talk about and what they can't talk about. And I like them. I never was a kid person before.
Yep.
I never knew or liked a kid. My sister had a son. Of course, I had a good relationship with him, but I wasn't, it's just another thing of life. It's another thing you think you can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Like directing this movie.
Yeah.
Another thing you think you can't do. And maybe you can, maybe you can't. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. You can or you can't. What's relevant is you dive in. That's relevant.
Yeah. Yes.
Because however it comes out is worth it. Failure is just as worth it as success.
Because of the experience, or because of the effort, or because of the initial guts to do it.
Because everything contains a reward of some kind. It's your job to find it.
And you've talked about being a parent. You once said, almost every interaction I have with my kids, they walk out of the room, and I think that's the greatest moment of my life.
It might have been the greatest moment of my life, you think? Yeah.
Just that little interaction.
Did I say that to you?
You said that to me.
Wow.
You just told me a little too much.
It sounds like I'm trying to sell you something.
No, you were just talking about being a dad and how great it is.
Yeah.
And this is the great Jerry Seinfeld accomplishments, all that stuff. But just this interaction with your child.
I always talk about. I know this woman. She's a psychologist, and she heard me talking about. People talk about quality time. I'm in the garbage time. People talk about you want to have garbage time with your kids when nothing's happening, and it's 11:30, and one of them says you want to have cereal.
Great. We're like, I'm fucking Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, and it's just garbage
That's all I
time.
wanna
You're
have.
just sitting there. You're not even talking.
Yeah, you're just sharing.
It's nothing, but it's everything.
Because you're connected, and you're just sharing the same experience, and it's.
I don't even know what it is. It's I don't know. You want to feel like you got to feel like you took a shot in life. You got to feel that at the end, right?
Yeah.
You got to feel that. Win or lose, as I say, not as relevant as I'm going to take a shot.
Yeah.
Guys, how did you become a comedian? You didn't really think thousands of people will love hearing me talk. You didn't think that. I didn't think that.
No.
But that dive off the cliff, that's it.
Well, it's the impulse of like, I don't know, I got to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I
Yeah.
don't know. I have to do. I saw this. I have to go to space like
Right.
those astronauts.
Right.
Why? How come? I don't know.
I used to say being a comedian is like being a murderer. No matter what people tell you, you're probably going to do it anyway.
Hey, did you like that? Did you like that? Yeah, did you like it though? You want more? Don't want to work? Would rather watch videos of me grab-assing with people? First of all, go up here to subscribe, and then go up here to watch more clips. This is like when the weatherman says there's a high pressure system coming in. I'm not really used to the green screen.